Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the WardiTV Monday. WardiTV Monday number 51, your weekly dose of WardiTV action. Here we go again. We did miss last week. I say we mixed. There was no WardiTV Monday last week, as of course Wardi was busy getting married, papi. Ay, ay, ay. But now we're here, now we are back, and we can focus on our regular weekly open StarCraft. Let's go, papi, let's go. This morning, in the bottom right hand corner of Pylon, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Red Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss himself, the Italian Protoss. It is LetaleX. And if you're in the chat, so predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chats as you can get your gamba going. Whew, and once again, good to see you all, papi. Good to see you all as we have here. We have returned exclamation mark. Be in the chat to have a look at the bracket yourself. The bracket is live. The bracket is stacked, of course. And we'll be going over the bracket after this initial series. The bracket is a little bit smaller than we're used to seeing this time. It is a little bit smaller here. But regardless, we have our StarCraft ready. Let's go. Of course, in the off-season, a lot of players are taking some time off. They're taking a break from the intensity that was EWC. And of course, there are other events that are also taking up their time. Events like the RSL, events like Maestros of the Game as well. As of course, players will soon be traveling over to the land of France. It will be happening, I believe, next week. Next week, maybe next week. Otherwise, we have our hatch gas pool, stay that open out of Solar. Likewise, LetaleX going for its own gate expand as well. Everything so far looking as it should. So far, so good. Calming down. Settling in. From here, we are loading into Pylon, of course. Pylon being one of the more aggressive maps in the map pool. It's going to be up to LetaleX here to try to hold his own against Solar. Of course, Solar is coming in as a heavy favorite, and I do appreciate that we at least have one Zerg representative tonight. I do appreciate it. We speak about this all the time, but when it comes to online tournaments, Zerg players are very, very rare. Sometimes we get Rogue, sometimes Shin, sometimes Solar, sometimes Lambo, sometimes a mixture of the names I just mentioned. This week we have Solar. Papi. Let's go. So typically we try to feature the Zerg players while we can, at least until they get eliminated. So we're going to be riding on that Solar train until we'll eventually get to the PvPs. Now, don't you worry, we'll get there. No, we'll get there, papi. We'll get there. For now, we do have our Stargate for LetaleX. It's going to be the Stargate opener. Into a third base, into center play. So far, so good. Again, LetaleX, the pressure's going to be on him to make something happen against Solar, but he's opting not to be hyper aggressive. We're not going for like a Twilight Council into Glaive Adepts. We're not going into any crazy tech early on. This can still lead into an early Twilight Council, into delayed Glaives, or into early Blink, into early Charge. Like, there are definitely some aggressive builds available to LetaleX, but for now, we're just calming things down. As he does snipe the Tumor, not bad. Tumor goes down. LetaleX pulls away. So far, so good. Likewise, I'm very happy that we made it through the weekend. We had non-stop back-to-back casts for the past 5 days of Maestros, of RSL into Maestros, or RSL into Galaxy Cup, or RSL into anything else, into Pondcast. So there was just a lot of back-to-back broadcasting going on, and a lot of like just non-stop 8-hour casts. But we made it, man. We made it. I'm happy to go back to like a 4 to 5 hour cast. Beautiful. Beautiful. Of course, now we're going back to 2 casts a day, one in the morning, one in the evening. The next cast after this is going to be tomorrow morning in around 12 hours, time, with the OC mid-season playoffs. I think there's 8 series for that. So that's a lot of StarCraft. Followed by Tuna Cup tomorrow evening. Oh, hello. As we did in fact go for the earlier Twilight Council Gateway Explosion, we are rushing into Templar Archives. Okay, we're going into an Archon drop. this has fallen out of fashion. It's fallen out of fashion as of late. We do have an Archon drop getting ready here for LetaleX. Meanwhile, Solo going into +1 melee into Ling Hydra. So basically, the build that we're seeing out of our Protoss players, we're going to be delaying +1, delaying the upgrades. We're going to be delaying upgrades on the Twilight Council as well. In favor of what? In favor of warping in High Templar with a Warp Prism with Archons to go for the Archon drop across the map. Players that are very fond of this are a lot of the European Polish players. So players like Geralt, players like Mana, players like Christiana. Very fond of this kind of style of play. Or at least they were, maybe 3 months ago. But it's been a while. Been a while since I've experienced this specific build. It's been a couple of months. As it does allow you to gain map control, and behind it you do get into charge and storm, of course, as the follow-up. Just a way to gain map control, apply pressure, get some damage. This is a build that permeated quite a lot throughout the European scene, Max as well, alongside Skillus and many others. The Korean scene didn't really pick up on it. They weren't really too enamored, referring to players like Hero, Classic, Zaun, Trap at the start of the year. Weren't too fond of it. As the Archons have arrived, they are warped in. And so far they threaten a dive. Solo, he's cutting workers. Oh, he does cut drones. We have roaches on the way, and do we continue roach production? Do we start pushing? What's the plan? So we kind of get the answer is all in. Okay, so we have overlord speed on the way. We're going for a Ling Roach Queen all in. We're setting up for the German taxi. Solo, he gets up to 65 workers, and he will not join up any further than that. He just commits. Again, 4th base just for larva, essentially. He's cutting workers at 3 base saturation. 3 bases, 5 gases, and non-stop army. Non-stop army. Non-stop. Drop lords are morphing in, so it's going to be the all-in at the front lines and a Ling drop at the same time into the main, and it's going to be LetaleX to survive this. Storm is done. He's going to storm, he's going to wall the cannons and shield wires, but these are late. Late reaction, late realization here by LetaleX. He needs more time, but he needs to react sooner. Smiles raise the Stalker. Storm, it's okay. Connecting with mainly Ravagers, and the drop is coming in. The main, a nice storm here on the Queens, softening up some of the roaches, and so far LetaleX, he is actually defending here with the main army. He's holding on. Lings, they jump in. No reaction, no reaction. As Lings, they wreak havoc, and every probe is going down. We don't have WSS game hearts, so no kill counts. It's going to be how many? It's going to be 21, 22 probe kills in the main base. Honestly, very impressive defense at LetaleX. If it was just this, LetaleX, he would actually get ahead. But alas, again, he just wasn't paying attention. He was otherwise focused on the main push. Yeah, just a little bit too inattentive there for LetaleX, and Solo, he's snowballing out of control. He got an entire mineral line, he got more than a mineral line. And from here, pushing into the natural. LetaleX is running out of storms. He's running out. Say that Zealots, they do warp into defend. LetaleX is still holding on. Again, like, imagine this if he had an economy. Like, imagine if he had a full saturated main base. Like, LetaleX, he could take a 4th base, he could expand, he could just snowball out of control, and with the help of a Warp Prism, he could even just break Solar here with a counterattack. But he's, at this point, all in now. At this point, he just bled out so many workers that he has to end the game here, and he has less reinforcements. Here come the Vials. The Vials do connect. Prism goes down, and LetaleX is running out of steam. He's running out of army. He's going to get surrounded. There's just not enough support. And Solar, he'll start to step in. He'll focus this down. And Solar will defend. And LetaleX has nothing behind this. There's nothing behind this. There's no 4th expansion. GG gets called. There's another Ling drop into the main base, and Solar takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. With that Solar, he does take a lead in the series, and we'll see where our players take us next. We'll see where our players do take us here, as we're going to be getting into game number 2. Again, LetaleX, honestly, his defense was quite solid. Like, I was very impressed by his main by his main defense, I should say. Outside of his natural, outside of his third base, it was very impressive. He shut Solar down. Unfortunately, just the one lane drop. The one lane drop into the main base killed 22 workers. That was critical damage, and it forced LetaleX into an all-in. Did force you all-in. And with that, we'll see if LetaleX can recover coming into game 2. We shall see. And again, didn't look too bad at all in the first game. Just unfortunately didn't quite have the attention, didn't quite notice that he was in so much danger. So now getting into that second game. Ooh, gonna be loading into Incorporeal. Okay. Interesting. Gonna be loading into one of the larger maps in the map pool. And we'll see how our players will adjust. And now I do expect Solar to go for another all-in. Right, I should have led with that as well at the start of the series. Solar, he's known for all-ins in PvZ. He does nothing but all-in, whether it's 2-base all-in, 3-base all-in. I say that there is, depending on the map, a rare occasion where Solar will be very tech-heavy and will try to outgreed the Protoss player. But those games are few and far between. And typically, we see that kind of play on, like, Tokamak, for example, or sometimes Maganatha. But here we go. Spawning in top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Red Zerg leading the series 1-0. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Italian Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss. It is LetaleX. And if you're in the chat, predictions, they've already closed at this point. The Gamba time has come and gone. No. But we're settling into game 2, and here on Incorporeal, now there's going to be less of a chance for us seeing a 3-base all-in, and we could just see a 3.5-base all-in instead. We expect to see Solar saturating, droning, getting up to a 4-base economy, or at least a 3.5-base economy. Now, there are some other styles that are more viable here on Incorporeal, because the map is so large, because there's so much space. It does allow for muta play. Muta's Inspire play is going to be a viable option, so we'll see if Solar does tech in that direction. Otherwise, he could just be a little bit greedier here, drone up a little bit harder to 70 to 74 to maybe 76 workers, and then focus on a lair tech all-in, which we do see quite often from Solar. So we shall see. Likewise, after the series, we'll be going over the bracket itself. We'll be catching up. We'll get there. So here we are, just going to be joining. A little bit too soon to really dedicate into anything here. We do have a Stargate opener at LetaleX, so just going to be opening up Stargate into a 3rd base. Everything normal so far. Remember last game we did see the Redburn Twilight Council into Archon drop. We may see that again. Like, it's a pretty robust build. Like, it's not hyperly aggressive. A little bit more defensive more than anything. So that might be LetaleX's go-to build. As he does hide a probe over on the right-hand side, you have my attention. Interesting. LetaleX does expand, so just Stargate open it into a Nexus. No tech yet. There's the earlier Twilight Council. You have my attention. So Twilight Council, as the third base is being thrown down, this is an early Twilight Council out of LetaleX. From here, we'll see if he throws in extra gateways. He does pull out a gas. Okay. So far, this does look like David Epps. As he did pull out. This tells us that most likely we were into a Forge, which means there's a lower chance it's going to be Blink Stalkers. So 4 gates. Assuming glaives here from LetaleX, waiting for the Twilight Council. Yep, there we go, 4 gate glaives out of our Protoss. Again, the tell was he did pull out a gas. And of course, no Forge. Oh, and we could just skip the Robo. Yeah, we could skip the Robo and get a proxy gateway instead. Just go full hero. How many gates did he redo this with? Was it 6 or 7? Assuming we got a gateway, though. Ooh, as at least he just spent his warping across the map. Oracle's at home to defend. Oracle's ready. Head-ups are warping in. We're just going for the slow warp-ins. Meanwhile, Solo's going for an all-in of his own. Behind this, I believe he did not have... Okay, sorry, he has a Roach Warren. Never mind, he has a Roach Warren. He's taking some gases here, but this is indicative of hyper-aggression out of Solar, indicative of an all-in. So Solar is droning up to around 3 bases. He's getting there. Do you have our Master moving in? It's going to be how many? Going to be 11 Adepts. Solar does respond. The Roach production's already begun. Here come the Drop Lords again. Solar, who was already going for his own drone taxi, his own all-in. So he already has an army on the way. Ideally, at least he wants to try to catch Solar droning, but remember, Solar doesn't drone. He gets in. And 1, 2, 3, 4 drone kills so far, not bad. Gets some economic damage, but he needs more. Gets 5, 6. Solar does not pull the workers away. This will weaken Solar's all-in. Oh. As a picks of view, more so far, 9 drone kills, but that's going to be it. 9 drones go down. You can see LetaleX trying to set up a proxy gateway. I feel like this should have been a little bit earlier to hit sooner. And Solar, he's redroning. I canceled the upgrades. Oh, okay. He did cancel Overlord speed. No drop lords. Solar's going to be forced to drone up, which means LetaleX, he's in a decent position here. He's on 3 bases. He can get a 4th. Can't get a 4th base. Blink is almost done. Remember, Solar, he's droning. Does finish morphing into Ravage, though. He does have an army. Looks moving forward. Oh, gets a Roach. Gets 1. As the things that do catch out some of the Stalkers. The Wilds! No, it doesn't pull away. Oracle goes down. LetaleX. Not like this. And LetaleX is running out of steam. He's running out of steam. He's running out of army. When it comes to this Blink Stalker push, a lot of its strength does rely on the Oracles to throw down stasis traps and to support. But losing 1 Oracle is just brutal already. And from here, Solar just snowballs out of control. Snowballs out of control, just keeps on going. LetaleX just splitting out far too many Stalkers. The Dropper Lords have arrived. And LetaleX never got a 4th base. Oof, never got a 4th expansion. So he's just falling further behind. Does fall further behind. Quest Stalker is going to be forced back. Going to get surrounded, and there's just not really much remaining here for LetaleX. Not like this. And GG gets called from there. Solo snowballs out of control. He will claim the series. LetaleX had a cheeky build going into 4-gate claves, but alas, got shut down because Solo happened going for an all-in himself. GG. GG, well played. Again, I appreciate the cheeky builds that LetaleX he was going for in game 2, but unfortunately against Solo, he doesn't really drone much. He doesn't really drone much, specifically in this matchup, I should emphasize. In ZvP, Solo he's known for all-ins, so Solo he wasn't droning. He was focusing on his army, so when LetaleX showed up with all the adepts, Solo he had a force to work with, he had an army to respond with. GG. GG, well played. With that Solo, he will claim the series, he will advance on into the next round, and the question becomes, who will face off against him? Meanwhile, let's shout out to LetaleX because honestly, he looked pretty good in game 1. Like, game 1, I can see LetaleX getting ahead and then taking a lead and taking it to Solo 100%. If only it wasn't for the drop into the main base, which was brutal, but